Okay folks, moving through the schedule now, we're going to just touch upon the breaststroke exercise, which is a combination of breaststroke-1 and breaststroke-2 body positions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to demonstrate the whole exercise, break it down and show you some modification drills that allow you to master the exercise in a fairly quick time. So first of all, the actual breaststroke itself. Moving swiftly on to the anatomical landmarks, and you hear me talk about anatomical landmarks throughout any lectures I give. We're looking at the pelvic wings, we're looking at the pubis. Ideally, they're going to be flat to the mat. We're actually pivoting off the bottom rib. And we're trying to prevent the pelvis tilting forward and creating tension in our lower back. Now, how do we prevent that? Well, the first thing you do is you keep your legs nice and tight, toes pointed. The next thing you do, if you do start to feel any excess tension in the lower back, you guide your pubis gently into the mat. What that does is allow the abdominals and indeed the gluteal muscles, the backside muscles, to work together in what we call a force couple, basically to bring your back into alignment. Now that's quite an important point, because the last thing you want to do, particularly with a breaststroke, is to start jamming into the spinous processes of the lower back. So we're keeping that lumbar spine really in a fairly neutral position, but focusing on extension on the upper back. So there's the basis of it. I'll go through the exercise very briefly, giving you the main coaching points. So the first thing I do is I come down, legs are hip distance apart, toes pointed, and almost immediately my legs are tight. I start to feel that pelvic triangle. I start from the breaststroke-1 starting position. My head is in line with my spine. The shoulder blades are down. Now that's an important point. I want you to notice my head is actually in line with my spine. That awareness must be there. I take an inhale to prepare, and remember the diaphragm is a major stabiliser of the trunk. Breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, I go out, look down, form a gentle V with my hands. Stabilise the shoulders. I inhale, sweep up, pivot off the bottom rib, breastbone reaching forwards, bum engaged, and look at that ski slope I have between my head and my upper thoracic spine. And then exhale, come back down to that long low line again. Hands stretching out, shoulders stabilised. Inhale, sweep up, notice how straight the arms are. There, off that bottom rib. The head is a continuous curve continuing on from the thoracic spine. And on the exhale, our lower length back down. Exhale. Okay, now obviously, it's a little bit tougher doing it at that speed. So everyone's going to have their own natural rhythm, which will be aligned to your breath pattern. Now, sometimes people find a little bit of difficulty with that exercise to begin with. So there is little drills you can do to build up your confidence, build up your strength, build up your muscular endurance, in fact. So let me just show you one of those drills. From there then, I come down into my starting position. Legs tight, toes pointed. And you notice here is the starting position with breaststroke prep 1. That's important to realise. And then we come out into extension, then we come back down. So we take an inhale, exhale, go out, look down, and then just rest your arms. Have a little bit of a breather. But then, once you're fairly comfortable in the position, and you know what you're going to do next, you then take an inhale, come up off the bottom rib, hold that for just a second and notice how straight the arms are, notice the alignment of the head. Then exhale, bend at the elbows, go out, relax the arms down. So you get used to the sequence. So inhale, sweep up, off the bottom rib, nice extension of the upper back. Exhale, bend the elbows, go forward, gentle V with the arms, relax back down. Okay, and then eventually you start to build up the confidence to perform the whole exercise under control. And then to finish, exhale, lower length back down. So there you have it, it's just some basic moves you can do with the breaststroke. You'll notice I have a slight pause for my arm sweep around to the side. It is just a matter of practice. If you are practicing, be aware of trying to do too many in one session. Maybe do 3 or 4, have a little bit of a break, a little bit of a stretch, and then have a go at another 3 or 4. It's more important that you learn the skill of the exercise before you try and put your body through, really, which is quite a difficult exercise to master if you're unfamiliar with it. Once you've done that, of course, it's always a good idea just to finish off with a nice shell stretch, just in case you've gone into the lower back a wee bit. So nice big inhale, exhale forward, sit back, and then relax. Then come back up, and there you go. So those are variations you can use to get used to doing the breaststroke. Once you master this exercise, it's absolutely sensational for improving your posture and indeed strengthening the posterior chain of the spine. The breaststroke. Go away, cautiously give it a go, and take care.